Though the Transformers is a titan in the toy industry, there have been numerous toy lines involving transformation gimmicks. Some are blatant rip-offs of the Transformers, and others are unique ideas that use transformation in interesting ways. In this video, we're going to talk about a few of these toy lines. What's good, internet? It's your boy Jake here, dumb as ever. This is actually the second video in this series, and the toy lines I'm talking about today are all suggestions from that video's comment section. If you have any suggestions after this video, please feel free to drop them below. As always, I have to ask you to like and subscribe to help me out with algorithm, and if you'd like to support my content further, please consider becoming a member. It's the best way to help me out, and you get cool perks like access to an exclusive Discord and monthly mini podcasts where I talk about Transformers, movies, and music. Okay, let's get into the video.
Dinozaurs! Created by Bandai, Dinozaurs, or Dinozone in Japan, was a toy line featuring fossil-like dinosaurs as the protagonists. The toy line involved dinosaurs that transform into robot warriors, known as Dino Knights. These toys used brightly colored transparent plastic and die-cast pieces. It took me watching the cartoon to realize that all of the characters are skeletons, and the clear plastic parts are sort of filling in the skeleton itself. Speaking of the cartoon, what in the Fox Kids is this crap? Much like Beast Wars, I'm just a bit too young to have caught this on TV and really have it sink in, but if I had been older, I think I would have really been into it. It features robots and dinosaurs, duh. The plot involves the titular Dinozaurs protecting Earth's life force from the evil Dinozaurs that are trying to steal it. The concept itself is like Transformers meets Power Rangers, or Power Rangers, but it's only Megazords. The Dino Knights themselves even wear helmets that look like their dinosaur forms. The cartoon itself is pretty mid. It uses a mix of 2D anime and 3D character models for the Dino Knights and Dragozors, which is cool and reminds me of Transformers Energon. The toys, on the other hand, are really cool looking. The brightly colored designs are just fun to look at. They kind of remind me of those aesthetically pleasing Apple computers from the 90s. Not to go on a tangent, but I have always wanted one of those old colorful Mac laptops. Like, look how fun it looks. Comparatively, my current laptop is so boring. Bring back the funny colored VTech looking laptops now. Anyways, out of the Dinosaurs toy line, I really like Dino Brachio, who's decked out with blue transparent plastic and gold. His toy apparently came with a VHS tape, which is awesome. All me and my homies love toys that come with VHS tapes. Unfortunately, these toys have not aged super well. It seems like Bandai used a cheap plastic, and the toys are rife with joint issues, and are also more at risk for breaking because clear plastic is known to be weaker and more breakable with time. The paint on the chrome sections of the toys also gets easily scuffed. I feel like these toys are pretty cool and I would like to have one someday, but given their issues, I would probably go for a new in-box dinosaur toy. Also, complete side note here, there are like barely any videos on this toy line, so if you have a collection, please post a video, please! The Dinosaurs fandom is dying, please! Matchbox Parasites. Halley's Comet passes Earth every 75 years, and this time it brought an alien infestation with it. These skinny evil aliens can fold up and hide in America's favorite motor vehicles, surprisingly enough. Matchbox Parasites is a toy line that was released in 1985. It features very thin robots that can be transformed and hidden within the shells of Matchbox cars. Honestly, this is not the worst idea, but the execution could use some work. There's nothing super interesting about them, and you can tell they didn't put much thought into compelling character design. There's a couple fun ones, like this big ol' snake that hides in a van. I really like that the van has a little snake on the side. It That's very fun. I like that. While the transformation into a hunk of plastic is a little bit lame, it's pretty cool that you could take the robot out and still have a Matchbox car to play with. I really appreciate this guy who just has a tank barrel for a nose. It's really funny how they just did not try on his alt mode. Imagine walking out to your Dodge Caravan and seeing heavy artillery sticking out of the windshield.
These guys know how to blend in.
The parasites kind of do remind me of Lego Slizers, weirdly enough. Am I the only one that's making that connection? Parasites was a fun idea, but ultimately the product was just not good enough to stand up to its competitors, who had cartoons and comic books to back up their toy lines. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtles count it off. Yeah, I grew up with the 2003 series, but I do like the original cartoon theme song. Ninja Turtles has probably the best theme songs for cartoons. Spider-Man's up there, though. Ooh, Spider-Man might win. The Spider-Man Unlimited theme song goes unnecessarily hard. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. A bunch of turtles raised by a rat to do ninja stuff. Very recently, they announced a TMNT X Transformers collaboration officially. This guy is named Party Wallop. Party Wallop, good name. First name Party, last name Wallop. And he transforms into the Party Wagon van, the Turtle Van. The Turtle Van mode actually looks pretty perfect to me. Like, it looks just like the original cartoon. It's kind of crazy how good that looks. The robot mode is okay. I think it's got some really cool ideas, like the interchangeable masks, so you can make him any of the turtles. I also like that there's just a maskless version, so Party Wallop can be like his own character. It does kind of suck that you have to buy 4 of these guys to get a complete turtle team. From what I've read, he's meant to be $50, so that means $200 to have your whole Transformer turtle team. I'm really wondering how big he is, because $50 is a leader class size toy price. I have a feeling he's gonna be more of a Voyager class with a leader class price tag, though. You'd be surprised to find out that this is not the first transforming Ninja Turtles toy, though it is the first one that's officially a Transformer. TMNT has been experimenting with transformation type toys ever since the first series. These toys were figures of the pet turtle versions of the Ninja Turtles that could transform into the fully mutated versions from the cartoon. Folding them up into the baby turtle mode, though, kind of looks like body horror. Just stuffing their faces into their shells and rotating their arms and legs all weird. And they did these mutation toys for like every version of the TMNT. There's a 2003 version, there's the original 80s version, there's a 2012 version. So far there hasn't been a Mutant Mayhem version, but I'm waiting. Also in the 80s, they had a toy line called Road Ready Mutations, where for some reason Master Splinter could turn into the Turtle Van. These ones are scuffed. I don't like them, to be honest. The 2012 line really experimented with these transformation gimmicks. Obviously, we already talked about the pet turtle versions, but there were also versions of the turtles that would turn into vehicles, and these guys were like big, chunky transformers. Pretty simple stuff. A lot of it was automorph, spinning and flipping around type stuff. But there was also another line which was the turtles, but they would transform into their own weapons. It seems like they only made Mikey, Raph, and Leo because each of those turtles' weapons are 2 weapons you can hold in your hand. If there was a transforming Donatello, he would just transform into a stick. I'd buy it though. But these turtles that turn into their own weapons are pretty funny, and the weapons are decent. Like, it's not bad alt modes, to be honest. I feel like the execution could have been worse. This year, TMT's been collabing with everybody. Transformers, they got a He-Man thing, they did a Stranger Things collab a couple of years ago. I'm pretty sure they did like a fighting game collab. Playmates is getting everything they can out of the TMNT. If you'd like me to talk more about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, let me know, and let me know what you want me to talk about from them. I can talk toys, cartoons. I like the TMNT a lot. Hot Wheels, Robo Wheels. Alright, we're gonna make this one quick because honestly I find these toys Just pathetic. These Robo Wheels are little robot guys that can transform and hide inside the car. They're basically exactly like the Parasites now that I think about it. Hold on, my brain's processing. Now, the Robo Wheels are a little different because Hot Wheels seem to be actually trying with them, kind of. There was a cartoon about the Robo Wheels that lived on a planet that was only made of those orange Hot Wheels tracks, and then they were on Earth maybe, and there's races. It was incomprehensible. The plot of the show doesn't make any sense, like, at all. But Robo Wheels are these little robots that fold up inside the car, and you can pull them, accordion them out basically, and transform them, and they'll have parts of the cars on like their shoulders and arms, and they're kind of using the base of the car as a skateboard. You can detach the robot, which is nice, so you have like this bendy little superposable robot, and you also have the car pieces. I really did not connect the dots. This totally is just like the Parasites toy line. I already had so little to say, but here we are. I don't think the toys themselves are that terrible, just like Parasites. Like, it's a decent idea. These guys are even more boring than the Parasites, though, because they seem to all be the same mold for the robot inside. Parasites, at least, they were different toys each time, right? But I mean, they're cool little robot dudes. They remind me of, like, generic mini-cons from Transformers Armada. But we have a much cooler Hot Wheels toy to talk about. Hot Wheels Attack Pack. This has to be one of the coolest toys I've covered on the channel so far, and it has shockingly few videos and information and content on the internet about this toy line. Hot Wheels Attack Pack was a line of toys which featured monster trucks, tanks, jets, all those types of vehicles, and these vehicles could transform into monsters. It was literally like that movie Monster Trucks that came out a few years ago. Remember that movie? Did anyone watch that? I didn't. But these toys will come to life, basically. I'm really into these two dinosaur ones, which are a tank T-Rex, obviously called Tankosaurus Rex, and a Stegosaurus military vehicle of some kind. I can't really figure that one out, but it looks awesome. And the commercial for these dinosaur toys features some wicked looking art. Like, I was so into this. Shout out to Big Bones, which is this big truck that can carry other Attack Pack trucks, and it does the wheel thing with like vampire teeth in the wheels. I'm also really into Sliminator, which is more of like a playset style for the Attack Pack. It turns into this big futuristic mixing truck, and then it transforms into a hornet style creature that can grab other creatures and bring it to a slime pit. Also, it's called the Sliminator. It sounds like a Dr. Doofenshmirtz invention. Yeah, I just can't get over these dinosaur ones. Can someone just do this idea again? Like, it's a great idea. Why are we not doing this right now to this day? This is honestly no surprise from Hot Wheels. They will literally try any gimmick with their Hot Wheels brand. So these transforming cars are not necessarily a surprise to me, but they're really awesome, and I do feel like Hot Wheels would succeed if they gave it another go and like took the best ideas. Like, these dinosaur ones are so good. The tank T-Rex is so goofy and awesome. So just like Dinozaurs, if you happen to have a sick Attack Pack collection and you've been holding out on the internet, post that to YouTube. The Attack Pack fandom is dying. Bakugan Bakumorph. Now, don't get your hopes up. I'm talking about a certain type of Bakugan product that is not actually real Bakugan. Bakumorph is this toy line that did not last very long and seems to only exist in the Gundalian Invaders era of the original Bakugan. But Bakugan Bakumorph were the classic Bakugan balls, and they were magnetic at the bottom, so they would spring open, and then you could pull the parts out and kind of turn them into an action figure. I'll tell you what, my memories made them look a lot better. Like a bunch of these toys on the list, not a lot of footage. Apparently people just did not care 15 years ago about Bakugan Bakumorph. But honestly, I thought these were cool ideas. I never had one myself. I always preferred to have like a real Bakugan toy to play the game with my friends. But these figures seem articulated well enough. I think the big issue seems to be plastic quality. Seems kind of bad. Seems like it's hard for them to stand. Some of the transformation decisions are strange, and overall they just look kind of awkward. They give me big Digimon transforming toy vibes, where they kind of just made it work and didn't really care. There is a deep fascination, I feel like, with the robots that turn into spheres. Like, we got our Unicron, of course, we got the Darth Vader Transformer, Primus, we've got Bakugan. I've run out of examples, but you see what I mean. There's a lot of circular Transformers out there. I definitely have more to say on Bakugan as a whole. It's one of my huge childhood toys. It's definitely up there with Transformers in terms of how much time I spent thinking about it and enjoying it and playing with those toys. So if you want me to talk about more Bakugan in the future, let me know. VTech Switch and Go. Okay, so I just want to say this toy line would not have made the list if so many people did not comment about it. This was maybe the most requested toy line from the comments of the last video. Me personally, given my age, I never played with these Switch and Go toys, which are transforming toys made by VTech that go from dinosaur to vehicle. And the big thing with these guys is that they have lights and sounds, some animated screens on some of the figures, and it's definitely targeted towards a younger age range. VTech in general makes stuff for younger kids. But I gotta tell you, once I started looking into this toy line, I was so impressed. I actually think these guys are so cool. First of all, the LED screens that a lot of them have feature a driver when it's in vehicle mode, and when it transforms, it'll show some angry dinosaur eyes, which I think is really fun. The transformations themselves are pretty simple, but I wouldn't say they're like too simple. Some of the bigger ones do have multi-step transformation. Kinda reminds me of like Armada stuff, or even Energon. That sort of simple transformation scheme where you can kinda tell how it's gonna work just by looking at the toy itself, but there's enough to it that it's still fun to do over and over. The vehicle design gives me some Power Rangers SPD vibes. I don't know, they just look like big old chunky vehicles, and that's the one thing I remember from that show. The lights and sounds aspect of these toys is actually interesting to me, because Transformers has all but abandoned lights and sounds. They just do not do it anymore. It would hike the price up even more than the prices have already been hiked up, and including electronics makes the toys bulkier and requires concessions to articulation, so I can definitely see why most Transformers toys don't have lights and sounds. But I gotta be honest, it's kind of seeing like these VTech dinosaur toys that come out of these eggs. You assembled them together like a Gundam model kit, and they still have lights and sounds. It's epic. They're cooking with these, man, and I'm honestly surprised that this toy line also does not have too much representation in terms of YouTube videos. Probably because a lot of Transformers fans like me just assumed they were baby toys, and they kind of are still, let's be honest, but they seem like really fun baby toys. It's kind of crazy that this toy line just snuck past me, but I'm glad I found it, and I'm thankful for everyone that commented about it, because it's definitely a toy line I'm interested in exploring more, checking out new releases. They have one that is 3 vehicles that turn into a big T-Rex that I really like. Like, that's such a cool idea. So I gotta know, did you play with VTech toys when you were younger? Did you like them? Are there any favorites? Drop it down in the comments, because I want to know more about this toy line. It's just a little hard to research, given most adults don't care to catalog this stuff. And that's my video. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and also consider checking out my membership options, where you can join our private Discord and you get access to mini podcasts and early videos. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna go get my Little Caesars pizza and chill the heck out. Peace!